1986, and since then the group members have all worked on solo projects. When they finally decided to do a new Genesis album, they found it wasn't easy. It took 3 months, 3 times longer than they usually take. They had to spend the first month just jamming together, trying to remember what Genesis was all about in the first place.
The name of the latest album from Genesis is We Can't Dance. It's also the name of their current world tour. Genesis may not dance, but with the help of hundreds of workers and stagehands, 43 tractor-trailers, and the latest in concert technology, Phil Collins and his mates can certainly entertain. Mark Shearer went behind the scenes to find out how it all comes together.
It's the day before the first of 2 Genesis concerts at Giant Stadium in New Jersey, and the work that began 48 hours ago accelerates.
You want to come to your rope and unhook the chain?
One of 4 stage platforms which leapfrog from city to city along the tour route is in place, and one of 2 superstructure assemblies is going in.
This is the roof. 3 big arches, has a clear roof skin on it that keeps the rain off the pop stars.
Genesis will be playing in Philadelphia while this stage is built. Work has begun already at the next stop. The construction is complicated by the new technology employed. Under the supervision of production manager Albert Lawrence, 3 movable Jumbotron video screens will rise behind the band. Innovative rigging will light the performers.
And on the rock show, the lights are suspended above the band's head. On this, the wires are not under tension. It's kind of like a ski lift or a cable car.
Anchoring the cables, tanks filled with 56,000 gallons of water. The enormously high overhead raises the question, can they fill enough seats to come out with a profit?
I doubt the band will be making any money on this at all.
Good question, we're not sure. I mean, the thing is, it's never really been our sort of main aim when you go on the road. We have a habit of doing what we're going to do in terms of the costings, visual presentation and production and lights and sound, and then letting our manager worry about it. He's gone from black hair to white hair now.
Show day, about a half hour before the gates open. The PA system has arrived from Philadelphia, so have the lights and the talent. It's sound check time.
This is the time. This is the place where we look for the future.
At long last, everything is in place. The paying customers are beginning to head to their places. Very soon, it'll be showtime. Well, almost. A few last-minute adjustments, and Genesis hits the stage. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles down the road, workers are overseeing the genesis of concerts to come. Mark Shearer, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
In the 40s and...
I'm on stage here, really. Genesis with a brand new single, Jesus, He Knows Me.
On the cover of a
Tony and Mike, Genesis, and Jesus, He Knows Me. This was Countdown.
Well, the key to my survival was never in much doubt. The question was how I could keep sane, trying to find a way out. Things were never easy for me. Peace of mind was
Norway and welcome to Folkgalleriet. We're very, very happy to have you.
Thank
Genesis
Thank you.
together for the first time for a long time. And I'd like to ask you, Phil Collins, first. What kind of attitude do you have towards Norway?
Well, we actually had a very memorable experience here in Norway, but it was a long, long time ago, and not a particularly great experience. We actually had some explosions on stage, which I'm sure a lot of older fans from Genesis might remember when we were playing here with Peter Gabriel. But we haven't actually managed to play here for quite a long time, so it's very nice to be here tonight.
Thank you very much for coming. I have to ask you, why did you decide to come together again, this group that we're very happy that is together again?
Well, when we last finished playing together in 1987, we kind of said to ourselves as we left that we'd do another album, but without fixing the date. We thought maybe around about 1990, and we were a year late. So it was always in our minds to do another album. my watch. I couldn't get it right. I'm on the wrong year.
But do you feel like home now? Are you home together?
Well, it's a very easy situation, you know. We've played with each other for many years, and we slip right back into it very easily. You know, it's nice to do it both ways. We sometimes do it on our own, and sometimes doing it with the others, and it's...
we slip straight to Scandinavian thing here.
Mr. Collins, as far as I know, you've been writing most of the lyrics.
Oh, no, some of the lyrics. I mean, this particular time I did write. I'm defending myself. I wrote 6 or 7 songs.
But you're touching upon very serious themes.
Well, I'm a serious kind of guy.
You are?
Well, there are things. Some of the themes are serious. Some of them are very funny. I mean, I Can't Dance and Jesus He Knows Me. Those 2 songs are supposed to be very funny, really. I mean, satirical.
But by the way, is it true? Can't you dance?
Oh, none of us can dance. No, we're terrible dancers.
Because I know you're lying when you said you can't sing.
Well, that's just... Thank you very much. I love you, babe. I love you. But, some of the songs are humorous, but there are a few very serious subjects, and, you know, there's room for that. There's some things that should be said in this world of ours.
So, well, I've been wondering, I've seen you concert last time in Berlin. I saw you on concert, and I see this huge crowd, you know, 50,000, 100,000, what do I know? It's a great power. Are you moralistic with this power, writing lyrics like this? Do you try to use your power?
Well, I think it's, you try and make people aware of, I mean, we're not really a very social conscious band. We're trying to make people escape from some of their problems, you know. And as well as maybe on the odd occasion try and inform people as to what we think about things. Yes, there will be times when you try and make people aware of certain things that are going on.
It's just like us in the gallery.
Well, hopefully. We see eye to eye then.
What's most important in life? I have to ask you quickly, one by one. Let's start with you.
Well, most important, I think, when you get married and you have children, I think they end up being the most important things in your life, you know? I mean, if you want the most important thing, that's the most important thing.
Do you agree?
I would agree, followed closely behind by what time the interviews start tomorrow morning. Is it 10 or is it 9 or is it 11 o'clock?
What about you?
Well, yeah, you can't top kids, really. I mean, we're all families, you know, family men. So, obviously, the children, because that's, you know, you're bringing them up into this world, you want to try your best for them. But that and sex, really.
But I mean, you.
Sorry.
Well,
I wish I hadn't said that.
I just asked you something else, which is, well, music is important to you, isn't it?
Of course, music is important.
Yeah. It goes without saying. But I kind of thought you meant outside music, which we take.
No, well, I meant that too.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. We like music too.
What would you be if you were not musicians?
I'll be a piano player.
Okay.
Out of work, I think.
I'll be a piano player.
We have to get a real job if you weren't musicians.
Thank you very much for coming to us. We were very, very happy to have you. And I'm sure our viewers are very happy that you're together again. Best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hot sun beating down, burning my feet just walking around. Hot sun making me sweat, hasn't got me yet. I can dance, I can talk. Only thing about me is the way I walk. I can dance, I can sing. I'm just standing here selling everything. Blue jeans sit on the beach. Her dog's talking to me, but she's out of reach. She's got a body under that shirt, but all she wants to do is rub my face in the dirt. 'Cause I can dance, I can talk. Only thing about me is the way I walk. I can dance, I can sing. I'm just standing here selling, oh, and checking everything is in place. You never know who's looking on. Young punk spilling beer on my shoes. Bad guys talking to me, trying to steal my blues. Big smoke, see her smiling through. I never thought so much could happen, just shooting through. But I can dance, I can talk. The only thing about me is the way that I walk. I can dance, I can sing. I'm just standing here selling, oh, I'm checking everything is in place. You never know who's looking on. A perfect body with a perfect face. No, I can dance, I can talk. The only thing about me is the way I walk. No, I can dance, I can sing. I'm just standing there selling everything. Well, I can walk. No, I can dance. No, I can dance. Well, the key to my survival is never in much doubt. The question was how I could keep sane, trying to find a way out. Things were never easy for me. Peace of mind was hard to find. And I needed a place where I could hide, somewhere I could call mine. I didn't think much about it till it started happening all the time. Soon I was living with the fear every day that one might happen that night. I couldn't stand to hear her crying from my mother, and I remember when I swore that would be the last they'd see of me, and I never went home again. But they say that time is a healer, and now my wounds are not the same. But I rang the bell in my heart and my mouth. I had to hear what he said. He sat me down to talk to me. singing a
Phil Collins och Genesis får andas ut lite, så ska jag prata några ord med dem om en liten stund. Men först ska jag berätta om New Kids on the Block som var här i Stockholm igår kväll. Ikväll är de i Göteborg.
Has what got anything to do with age?
Being together again?
No, it's not nothing to do with age. No, we just, well, we haven't done an album for 4 years, but we just, we said that we'd do another one, and we liked working together, we liked writing together, so we did one.
Okay.
Just to spite everybody.
Okay. Det har ingenting att göra med deras ålder att de jobbar ihop igen, utan de tyckte bara att det var kul att göra en skiva ihop igen, så det har de gjort. You sing about abused children. Were you also abused as a child?
No.
No, I'm very happy to hear. De sjöng om misshandlade barn, men de har alltså inte blivit misshandlade själva.
No, the song is actually, it is about abuse. I suppose it is, yeah. I mean, obviously it's a sort of teenager boy who just doesn't like. He wasn't actually, you don't know if the boy is being abused in the song, actually. It could be his mother. It's just an unhealthy,
some kind of abuse anyway.
Life, yeah.
Okay. You know that in America they have a lot of pageants about everything. I speak a little in Swedish now, excuse me. I Amerika så har de ju tävlingar, skönhetstävlingar om allting. Jag ska förresten berätta att de sa alltså att den här sången handlar kanske inte direkt om barnmisshandel, men någon slags misshandel i alla fall. I Amerika så har de...
Hello, Bertha.
Okay. Do you often dream in the night?
Yeah. I always have a dream before we start a tour that I'm on stage, I'm about to play the first guitar chord, and there are no guitar strings.
Oh.
That happens every time.
Sometimes you go to bed and you sort of want to dream about something.
But
nothing happens.
Every night, yeah.
Daydream.
Yeah, daydreams.
Daydreams, I suppose, as well. Yeah, sort of closing your eyes and thinking about something as opposed to being asleep. But very rarely do you actually dream about the things you want to dream about.
I'm sure cheese has an effect.
Oh, cheese does, yeah.
If you have cheese before you go to bed, you have very vivid dreams. And also up in the mountains, if you go skiing in a very high altitude, you dream. It's amazing. You wake up in the morning exhausted, actually. You're sort of dripping in sweat and you've kind of gone through it.
Where do you think dreams come from?
Very interesting things, aren't they? Because, I mean, they say that it happens just before you wake up. So, the split second before you wake up, you have the dream that you thought you had about 3 or 4 hours ago. And what is strange is when you wake up, you know you've woken up 2 or 3 times and had dreams of what seem to be through the night. So it's a strange phenomenon. If only they could actually film them. If only they could plug something in and film them, they'd be fantastic. Some of them.
I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams, been haunted by 1,000,000 screams, but I can hear them marching feet. They're moving into the street. Now did you read the news today? They say the danger's gone away, but I can see the fire still light. They're burning into the night.
Do you think Land of Confusion is a scary video for younger people?
Oh, yeah, I would think it would be. Could be.
But to be honest, compared with what they watch on TV these days, not that scary. I mean, you think, the things that the children age. I've got a 3-year-old and he watches the Ninja Turtles. And that's quite scary, really. big rat down in the cellars.
He's scared, you know.
He dreams a lot.
Dad, come on.
He dreams a lot. He wakes up, he's the old man. I go and tell him I had a bad dream.
In the video, a friend of mine, that video was like a nightmare. Is it a nightmare?
Yeah, what actually happens in the story is I guess it's a nightmare for anybody to live in a house where you're not quite sure what's going to happen next if you have a father or a mother that isn't very nice to you. But in the video, we did adapt the story slightly so that when the boy wakes up at the end, the whole thing has been either a memory. He's fallen asleep in the memory, which is a real thing, you know. He's been dreaming about it. And in the very end, there's a snowball. You know, the things you shake and you put your hand in all the snow. He picks it up and his father smashes it, and that wakes him up, as if that's happened in the dream.
Yeah, but what happens to the boy in the end?
Well, he doesn't go home, I don't think.
He doesn't go home? No.
Sad play.
Sad. Yeah.
Don't let this happen to you.
That works for some Hollywood marriages, I've heard, too. And later in our program, we'll talk.
Inspired 4 students at a London school to form a band called Genesis. Their 1969 debut album, From Genesis to Revelation, was described by critics as ambitious, but it was ignored by record buyers. Well, shaken but undeterred, the band came up with another album, Trespass, a new record deal, and a new drummer named Phil Collins. Lead singer Peter Gabriel combined music with theater by shaving his head and wearing wild costumes. Before long, Genesis had developed a loyal following of fans in the UK and Europe. While one of the band members has since permanently left the group, others regularly leave and then come back. They told us why this peculiar habit has made them one of the world's oldest and most popular rock acts. Since its origin, the band Genesis, formed by a group of British schoolmates 25 years ago, has built its reputation on a sound that's all its own.
Well, the key to my survival was never in much doubt.
In its early years, for lack of a more familiar category, Genesis was labeled art rock. Its lyrics ranged from mystical to contemporary, while its arrangements evoked the sound of mixing classical and rock with rhythm and blues. In 1975, lead singer Peter Gabriel left the group and launched a successful solo career.
Hi there. I'm on my way, I'm making it.
It was then, long before he himself became a household name, that Phil Collins, the band's drummer and backup vocalist, took center stage. He not only replaced Gabriel's soaring vocals, he matched his on-stage humor as well.
Well, I've been waiting here so long.
The group continues to produce its distinct sound regardless of change. Even though Phil Collins left to make solo albums, beginning with Face Value in 1981, he would always return, Gabriel never came back. Other lesser-known band members have also had solo careers. Collins' longtime partners Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks say being apart helps them appreciate staying together.
You just get to the stage now where you've got groups who've been together 20, 25 years, and this is kind of first time round, and that's a very long time there. And, you know, just playing with two of the other people and no one else for that length is damn unhealthy, I reckon.
And that's what being a group's all about, really. If you don't like that, then you leave. That's why people leave groups, I guess, because they want to see things through on their own.
While their solo albums have allowed them the luxury of making music on their own, it's also meant keeping the band apart for the past 3 years, the longest hiatus Genesis has ever taken. Now Genesis is back with its 17th album. We Can't Dance is the result of an improvisational effort that ventures once again into diverse musical territory.
We actually appeal to a very wide audience, and I think kids actually do like a wider framework of music, most kids anyway, than they're given. But they're only given on the radio, and I guess music television, they're only given that.
Well, it's one of the faults of formatting. It's one thing I don't understand, why it's got like that. I suppose it's so you can target advertising or anything or some business reason I don't really understand. From a purely musical point of view, your average music fan would like to hear a bit of this, followed by a bit of that, followed by a bit of that, I think. You know, I don't think people have got this sort of straight-ahead blinkered look that they want to hear just endless rap on one station and endless sort of country on another. Right. I think they'd like to hear the choice. Now, English radio hasn't got much to be said for it, but one thing it does have to be said for it is that it does give you that variety.
On stage, the look of a Genesis concert is as imaginative as its sound. The group pioneered the use of Vari-lights, narrow-beamed, powerful lamps that are in sync with the music and in use at nearly every other major rock concert.
It strikes me that every band goes out there and sticks as many lights up as they can, and so often, not every case, but in so many cases it means it's sort of random flashing that some guy's doing, you know, and it just doesn't really do much for me, you know. We've always tried very hard with all our shows to coordinate sort of, you know, big light moments with big musical moments and all that.
Genesis plans to take to the stage again in May, playing in stadiums around the U.S. and Europe. There is yet another impressive light show in the making for their latest tour, but this time they will operate on a less is more principle.
I think we're trying to scale down a bit, but I mean, make it, see how much we can get away with doing less, you know, because we've actually done the hugeness, if you like, we've done that. So we're just trying to have the same effect by using less, and this next tour will look very different, we hope.
Well, Genesis band member Mike Rutherford's occasional solo albums haven't sold nearly as well as Phil Collins' records, but Rutherford's band, Mike and the Mechanics, appears to be winning more fans with every record. Their latest album, The Living Years, made it to number 3 on the U.S. pop album chart.
Music industry.
Have a great week. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Phil Collins.